Hi, I'm Cooling. No, I won't explain my absence today. I want to start this video off with a bit of an admission. When I thought of this idea, I thought it was genuinely original, so I went off and recorded footage, only to find out after a little bit more research that no, it's not original. Only to be slightly uplifted when I found out that nobody has exactly said it like me, to my knowledge. You know, there's been some links, some connections, but no one's fully broken it down, okay? Now, what is this idea? Balatro is Tetris. And by that I mean Balatro in its game design and mechanics is following the footsteps of Tetris, and I truly believe it will be our modern Tetris. But first, a quick ramble of how I got here. Hi, I'm Calling and I still won't explain my absence today. I want to start this section off with a bit of an admission, a bit of a secret even. I get upset when overexposed to popular media. To be clear, I don't mean I'm one of those people who hate on popular things because they're popular and feel the need to express that hate, because those people are extremely unfun and they probably say friend slop unironically. No, what I experience is when a game is just too prevalent, it's just mentioned everywhere and it's in my feed and I just can't get away from it. Maybe the fan base is very big and loud and insists I try the game and they won't stop telling me to try the game. They just keep fucking talking about point aside. All of that does to me is it turns my lack of interest into a game into ambivalence and even spite. That's what happened with Balatro with me. I kind of just let it slip me by because it's kind of everywhere and I wasn't in the mood to try it. So come to recent times and I had it recommended to me and it sparked a conversation on how it could have possibly have won Game of the Year last year, and I didn't chime in because I had no clue, but also I thought, yeah, how could this game win Game of the Year? So later on I boot up the game and I play it for about like 12 hours straight, and as I can play I can only muster up one thought: this game is really well designed. The little effects, how everything's ordered, how the multipliers get applied, it's all very reliable and predictable and gives you a sense of control so you can focus on making strong hands. The way the cards and the jokers interact are clear and explicit, and the visual cues for what you can and can't do and all the info is well placed, and the visuals are surprisingly pleasing for what little there is. The use of shaders is very entertaining and makes me want to practice shader stuff in my game projects, but I think it's time to understand why Balatro's design works so well and why it is Tetris. Tetris is game design perfection. It is a digital chess, and like chess, it has a board. This little column is your game board, and with it you get a set of defined tetramers, shapes that clearly all fit together, and you are provided with tetramers constantly and randomly. The randomness breaks up what you would otherwise be a boring block placing game while still allowing you to strategize your moves, especially with the hold feature, which allows you to save one tetramer for later. You are given a limiting factor, whether that be a line limit or a time limit, and a score to track how well you're clearing lines. You can up your score by clearing a line, 2 lines, all the way up to 4 lines tall, making a Tetris, which gives extra points. This gives the player an incentive to not just clear lines immediately, but to set up larger blocks to try to go for that yummy Tetris. As you play with the tetramers, you observe patterns and interaction between them, allowing you to fit tetramers in more and more spaces, and combine tetramers to make blocks and shapes you desire. With this, the complexity goes further with doing gnarly T-spins and the line snaking thing where you go like, yeah, just show a footage. I never recorded it, but just show footage of it doing it. Alright, cool. All these elements and the structure it's located in allows for a seamless transition from pattern recognition to player input, allowing you to keep up with the increasing speed the game will saddle you with. So, does this relate to Balatro? Yes, I didn't just explain the rules and structure of a game you already know for nothing. Balatro is game design perfection. It is a digital poker, and like poker, it has tables. You have a space to place your cards and a hand to store the cards you can play with. Balatro provides you with standard playing cards, and you need to make poke hands, which you can clearly make because Balatro gives you a list of possible poke hands to play. I used to be hopeless at making poker hands. Now I kind of get it, so that's cool. These cards are dealt to you randomly, but you have a visible view of your deck and you can modify that deck. This breaks up what would be literally just playing poker and hoping to God you have good cards into a game of actual strategy, especially with the discard feature, which allows you to remove cards from your hand and bring new ones from your deck. Balatro has the limiting factor of available hands you can play and a score you have to reach each round. And also there's 3 rounds in an ante and 8 antes to win a run. You deal with 2 variables, a score and a multiplier variable, which you can increase by creating stronger poker hands or making use of modified cards. While not necessary, the game incentivizes you to always make the best hand possible, and will even flame up with little numbers if you're doing a good job. As you play with the cards and observe the patterns and hands you can play, you get much more adept at spotting potentially winning hands, and you develop an instinct when to use your discard cards and when to play, so you can get those tasty straights and full houses. All these elements and the structure they're located in allow for a seamless transition from pattern recognition to strategy, allowing you to keep up with the increasing amount of chips you need to make each ante. How Balatro enhances this foundation and takes itself further. While Balatro is Tetris, and that's how I was able to describe the two games with the same paragraph and sentence structure, Balatro is also a bit more than Tetris. No shade to Tetris, but it was made with bits and bytes and had ASCII for graphics. And while it has evolved since those days, it hasn't strayed too far from its origin, and well, gaming has evolved by then. And by that I mean it needs to have roguelike elements in everything. I won't lecture you on the influx of rogue slop in the modern gaming scene because, well, I still partake in it, and hey, they're still making diamonds out of this rough. Randomness can be engaging and fun when there's enough variance and strategy to support it, and that's what Balatro takes from card game to game. So what does Balatro add? For one, the obvious thing that I left out being the jokers, which are your lifeline for scoring chips, and a variety of other lovely effects. Finding ways to synergize or upgrade them is super fun, and additionally there are the planets and arcana packs that modify your cards and increase the score you get from your hands. There's a shop with goodies to buy, a boss on every ante, and my favorite little elements being the little tokens when you skip a blind. I like getting the holo jokers, those are pretty fun, and the fact there's various different modifiers and challenges you can play create a lot of variance and fun you can engage in. Closing remark. If you need any more proof that Balatro is Tetris, consider the fact that I'm bad at both of them. Hi, I'm Cooling, and I was just gone, okay? It's not a big deal, but I have an admission to make. That while yes, I do mean it when I say Balatro is Tetris, I don't think it'll ever get Tetris big. That being said, I also kind of think it might get Tetris big. I mean, with 6 million estimated users on SteamDB, and it being up on mobile, and being copied on mobile, it might become one of those big digital games that never really leave us. However, there's seeds of doubt, as you have to admit, the gaming is a lot less homogenous than it used to be, and people seek different things from their game. But I think Balatro can make it. I think it will crystallize into the beautiful gem that it was meant to be, because Balatro is Tetris. Hi, I'm Cooling, and I'm here to explain my absence. Straight up, I was just being fucking lazy. I mean, that explains most of it. Yeah, there was some trials and tribulations in life, but mostly I was just being lazy. You know, I went in for an X-ray and I was all lazy bones. This video was like a little kind of just to get back into the process of video making, trying to get into the groove of it again, and pretty fun. I enjoyed it. Not as much editing as I want to do. I was having troubles with hardware. Seems I might need to get an NVMe drive or something like that, because my 4TB external hard drive is just really it's not really putting up much of a fight. It's fucking dying over here. But I went through the calculations, I figured it out, and if I only do like 3 minutes of editing a day, I can get that big video project, the Risk Rain 2 project, you probably know about it, the Risk Rain 2 project that I've been working on, done pretty soon, and I can make it perfect. So I'm gonna give myself a deadline, so that there's gonna be a release date of late February 2026. This gives me enough time to make the whole thing and also make it look very nice. So I predict it'll be done by late February 2026. I think that'll be the case. I'm excited to start doing the visual, because right now all I've done is audio. All I've done is writing in audio, and I hate that stuff. It's not fun. It's not fun at all. The visuals were the fun part. This was the funnest part of that, and I didn't even do that much visuals. And even then, I was having a good time editing it. Another thing is I don't want to make video game reviews as much. Like I still want to do it, just like expect some other videos in there because I like making video game reviews. They're fun as fuck, but I want to make other videos without anyone going, what's going on? So just like expect that. I'll make some other stuff, maybe some skits, um, some more video essay type things. I'd like to make some of these like smaller video game reviews where it's just like a 10-minute quick thing because this only took me like I started on the 8th of September. It's like the 15th of September right now, and I wasn't exactly working 9 to 5 hours. So yeah, that's it. That's pretty much it. So yeah, consume more cooling.